case files. How we go about that. So if you see in the description, we're going to be talking about Shiloh Hendrix. And you're kind of like, I don't know that name. Why should I know that name? Well, if you hit the subscribe, like, comment on this episode, you'll hit to hear more. In other cases, I do like that. So um, this case is relatively new. This happened, I believe, last week. It's gone viral. And the ridiculousness of what has happened with this, I have so much to say about. So, like I said, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a true crime channel. We talk about historical crime, current crime, ridiculous crime, and other anecdotal type things. And if you have been here before, welcome back. If you've not subscribed, please do so. And just make sure you hit the like button on your way out. So, Shiloh Hendrix. Now, this name has become synonymous with the word hate crime, hate speech, just hate. She is a mother who, as of last week, it went viral because someone videoed her chasing around a 5-year-old autistic child screaming the N word at them. Yes, the child was or is African American. Now, when she was confronted by someone else there at the park saying, "How dare you speak to this kid in this way?" she said, "I'm going to call him what he is." All because this child got into her diaper bag and took something out. Okay. So, hello. And since this has all happened, she is, and since it's gone viral, she has felt that her life is in danger, her family's in danger. And she has set up a GoFundMe, or actually, no, she had a GoFundMe, it was shut down. She set up a Give, Send, Go. And can I have mod ins? I have no idea what that means. But Give, Send, Go. And it's raised, I think, around $700,000. Hello, everyone. So now I've seen the video. I don't have the video here to put on here, but if you Google it, it's everywhere. A very skinny blonde woman and very entitled sounding. Okay. Hello, everybody. Very interesting, you know, responses here. So let's get back to it. So those of you who are joining in, we are talking about Shiloh Hendrix. She is the entitled person who starts screaming at a 5-year-old autistic child, and he happens to be Black, and she starts screaming the N word at him. And when confronted on video by someone there, she made it clear she was going to call him based on how he was acting, call him what he is. So we're going to talk about this. Here's my take on it. No person should be going around chasing some child in a park that's not theirs, for one. For two, you should not be calling anybody's kid names. Doesn't matter what race they are, doesn't matter how they're acting, you don't do that. I have 3 grown adult children myself, and I never would have done that to somebody else's kid. Now, they keep saying this little boy that was doing what he was doing is autistic. And right, no, I agree with you, Mr. Awesome. Mr. Awesome is making comments that your kid shouldn't be reaching into another person's purse. It wasn't a purse, it was a diaper bag. But I get what you're saying. The child should not be reaching into anybody else's property. I get it. And I agree. No, the child should not do that. But there are other ways of handling that than how she handled it. Because she started calling him the N word, and that's never okay. And my thing is, why didn't she approach this child's parents? Why didn't she talk to them about what he was doing, or whoever was responsible for that kid? Because I don't think the parents have actually come out and said anything about this, which I thought was very odd. They've not identified themselves. And I don't know if they've ever said who was at the park with this kid, who was watching him. Because how do you know the parents weren't watching? How do you know it wasn't a teenage babysitter who turned a blind eye for a minute? I mean, anything could have, we don't know the full story as to who was, minding that kid. So, so there's that. But like I said, my oldest child, he's 25, and he is autistic. Okay. Um, anyway, he's autistic, and 10 times 10 is 100. Anyway, somebody keeps asking math questions, but my oldest child is autistic. He's 25, he's autistic. Never in a million years would he be reaching into somebody else's purse or diaper bag taking anything. And never in a million years would I let him just run loose in a park like that, unsupervised. Because autistic children don't know boundaries. You have to show them boundaries. They learn these things a little bit slower than some others. And this woman should never have said what she said to this child. Should have called him a racial slur, never should have been yelling at him. And she was actually accused by the person who took the video of her possibly trying to hurt him. Now, I decided, in my true fashion of who I am when I talk about people, I like to look them up and see if they have anything we need to talk about. And Miss Shiloh Marie Hendrix has a past. That she does. That she does. So let's see here. She lives in Olmsted County in Minnesota. So in 2014, she got picked up for a DWI, driving while impaired. She was found guilty of that. And this one's my favorite right here: disorderly conduct, petty misdemeanor, brawling or fighting. So yeah, she did that too. So this is, I mean, and just based on how she was acting in that video, and no, I agree with you. She's trying to get rich by saying a racial slur. I agree. But I think we truly saw her true personality right there. And I feel sorry for the guy who impregnated her and gave her a child, because I'm sure she is by far not the nicest person to be around, and probably the least motherly. Just saying. I mean, she definitely needs to take some type of anger management class, the way she was coming off and yelling at people. And that's not cool, the way she was talking. It just was not. But this is somebody who's got a propensity of drinking too much and acting out. So seeing this does not surprise me at all that she acted the way she did on a 5-year-old. But again, like I said before, we can't put all the blame on her, because somebody had to be there with that child and watching him. And because those people did not pop up in that video, where were they? Who were they? Was it the parents? Was it a babysitter? Was it a school group? Who knows? So I would like to know that answer. Like, who was supposed to be watching this 5-year-old, and how did you allow him to get over to somebody's diaper bag and take stuff out? That's what I would like to know. Just saying. But there's that. Now let's see here. Yeah, she was on probation, monitoring the whole thing. I mean, it's crazy. Now, one thing I do like about Minnesota, generally they with their records, they tend to put transcripts of the case in there, like, so you know exactly what was said in the courtroom, but I'm not seeing that on this one. Oh, let me go to document search. Hold up. Hmm. Gotta put the well, darn it, I gotta put the case number in again. Hold on. But they do that because when I was covering the Jason Kohler case, the crazy pedophile from Minnesota that has relocated to North Carolina, where I'm at, we definitely got the transcripts on his butt, and he definitely is a predator of the most extreme, and was very clear that let's see, and it was very, very clear that he is a danger to people. So, hello, person from India. How's it going? All right. So let me see. Let me find the case number really quick. Yeah, she's been also been evicted too. Yeah, so she's had some financial problems. Not a good time in her life, I guess. Okay, here's this. Let's see if we can find the document, see if they can give us a breakdown on what exactly happened and who she was beating up. Let's see. Okay, no document. So I guess they don't have them available for me to find. So, oh yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. So, yeah. And sup. Okay, hey Rock, sup. But there's that. So yeah, Shiloh Hendrix. Let's see where her give send go is at this point because I haven't checked it since yesterday. Hendrix, give send go. Let's see. We are at okay. So she is right under $700,000. So she has got $686,448. Yeah. Okay. She's trying to raise $1 million now. So she started off at like 100,000, and every time she hits her number, she raises the goal. So yeah, I mean, people were saying, "Oh, where's the child that she insulted? You know, let's give to him. Let's do that." And I'm like, there again, there's still questions. One, she should not have behaved in the manner she did. I mean, you're the adult in the situation. Be the adult. Don't scream racial slurs at people. I don't care how old they are. You just don't do that. So there's that. Then there's the where are the people who are minding the child that's going around terrorizing the park. So huh, yeah, it's a background, but there's that. Now on more current crime news, Puff Daddy, they are doing a jury selection this week. So that's going to be interesting to see because I heard a little bit about what's going to be on the jury questionnaire, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can actually get a jury out of this because they're asking people like, what music do you listen to? Do you know anything about Puffy Combs? Have you ever been assaulted sexually? All that kind of stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how they pick a jury on this. But I still think he's guilty as hell. But that's just my opinion. Let's see. No, I do not know Hindi. I do apologize. The only other language I sort of speak is Spanish. But anyway, I would love to hear anybody's opinion on this. Does anybody think that Sean P. Diddy Combs is going to get off on his federal criminal trial? I don't think he will. I think the feds are going to get him dead to rights, just like they did R. Kelly, because R. Kelly got tried in Florida by the state. They bailed, you know, they screwed that up. Then he got tried again. I think it was in Chicago, and they screwed that up. But when the feds got involved, they got him. They got him. Let's see what we got here. Well, Rock, that's a very personal question. Have I ever been assaulted? Um, I'm in the United States. I have a president. I don't have a prime minister. So, if you have ever followed this channel, if you have ever seen any of these videos before now, the answer to that question is yes. Today, with it being Cinco de Mayo, it's also the 25th anniversary of when I first met my late husband. This was a man I was married to for 22 years up until he died 3 years ago. And it was 22 years of hell. So there's that. So the answer to your question, yes, I have been, and it went on for a long time, and I no longer have to deal with it. Hello, everybody. Um, so yeah. But the Puff Daddy trial is going to be interesting. I mean, people are shocked by how quickly it's coming around to the actual trial part, but they asked for a speedy trial. I think they thought maybe they could get him out of this, but I don't think he will because they've got a lot of people coming in to testify, Cassie Ventura being one of them, and Cassie Ventura being the former girlfriend that the tape of him beating her up by an elevator went viral last year that CNN released. Hmm. So, like I said, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who else they pull into this to testify. But personally, in my opinion, after watching the Cassie Ventura video and watching him brutalize her on the level that he did, I think that man is capable of anything. So, we'll see what happens with this. But I truly think he is going to go away for a long time. I do know he's not looking good. I mean, he's looking all kinds of gray and stuff. So, hello, everybody. All of these people just joining in. Hello, everybody. So, but yeah, I do think he's going down for a long time. But all these people I've not seen before. So again, if you are new here, please hit subscribe to the channel because there's more videos on here than just this. I've got over 200. Can you join in? Like join in on the video? Sure, if you want to. I'm not sure how to do it, but sure. What did my husband do? Well, my late husband, he's dead. He doesn't do anything anymore. But before that, he was a singer, professional singer. So yeah, if anybody wants to join in and come on camera, go ahead. Not sure how to add you because I'm still relatively new to this whole stuff. No, I cannot sing. No, I cannot. That is like the last thing I can do is sing. He was very talented, but he had a lot of issues. My panels are fine. Yeah, I think they are too. I just don't know how to add somebody on here. I'm so, I don't know how to do that. Oh my goodness. You're TK's mother. Okay. Okay. Do I go to church? No, not really. I was raised Catholic, so no, I do not go to church. I generally go when it's funerals or weddings, that kind of thing, baptisms. Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying that, Judge Jug. Do I pray? Yes, I do pray. Does anybody have any other questions about any cases or anything? Because I think Diddy's going away. I think Shiloh Hendrix needs to just be put in the corner somewhere and told not to speak. Let's see what else we got. Um, oh, you're also Catholic. Okay. But I mean, it's just absolute craziness that's going on in this world right now. It's just absolute craziness. I mean, you can't trust anybody. You can't speak your mind. I mean, Luigi Mangione, I just found out today they're apparently making a musical about him. A musical. Seriously. Um, and they've got it's coming out of San Francisco. They're doing a musical about Luigi Mangione, and they've got a black woman playing P. Diddy because they're going to have like the scene where he's in jail and the famous prisoners and because Puff's in the same prison as or same jail as Luigi Mangione. And there's some other dude, I'm not sure who he is, but he's somebody else they keep talking about. But yeah, they're doing a musical. And the question was, is this too soon? Most definitely, considering the fact that this has not gone to trial yet. The guy just died a matter of less than 6 months ago. I think his family would have a say about this. Cosmo, yes, you can ask a question. Yeah, anybody can ask a question. It is 11 o'clock Eastern time where I'm at. Okay, so you're a lesbian. Good for you. Is that a statement or is that the question, Cosmo? Oh, there you go. Welcome, everyone. Please like, share, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to indulge in more exquisite content. Yes, yes, please do that. Am I in Kentucky? No. I actually am from Kentucky originally. Born in Cincinnati, Ohio, was raised in northern Kentucky. American lives are so negatively affected by health coverage that I foresee the musical going viral. Yes, I agree. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people are going to go see this thing and like just to see it, whether they'll be offended or not, that I don't know. Okay. John Phillips, I honor a family that matter a lot to Jesus Christ. Amen. That question. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're in Kentucky, Russell Smith. What part? Nah, Florida, yeah. My brother lives in Florida, Jacksonville. Oh, okay. Interesting George Clooney quote. Laurel County. Okay, I know exactly where that is. Exactly where that is. And then John, you live next to Ocala. Okay. Good times, everybody. But yeah, like I said, Luigi Mangione, they are making a musical about him. That is very disturbing on so many levels. Karen Reed, they're doing the retrial on her. It seems like the judge has got all kinds of bias going on with that against the defense. No, everlasting base. I have no recommendations on that. And yes, I agree. Everyone has to deal with a surprise medical bill. I mean, my thing is, it's not so much the surprise medical bill, it's the fact that you think your coverage is going to cover things. Like my son has to have oral surgery, and I just found I got to prepay and then submit because they're out the oral surgeon's out of network. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go find somebody else. 'Cause I'm not dropping like $500 up front. Heck no. Um, so yeah, like I said, Luigi Mangione's getting a musical. I heard that today and I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. And then you've got Karen Reed. Um, Karen Reed, that's an interesting case. I do think there is some type of blue line issue here with that case. Yes, true crime. Everlasting base, true crime. Yes, I've been to Cumberland Falls, Russell. I have been there a couple times. But because with her, the guy was a Boston cop. He was at the house of another Boston cop. There was a party. There's apparently dog claw marks on the body, but now the dog has disappeared. I mean, it's all a lot. And the fact that this is a retrial because they had a hung jury the first time, and this prosecutor is just got an itch to scratch and trying to get her convicted. This is crazy. I don't think she's guilty. I don't. I really don't. I have pyloric stenosis. It was 12,000. Okay, not sure what that is. But yeah, like I said, Karen Reed's retrial is happening. Let's see what else we got. Um, yeah, I can't think of anything else right now. Like I said, Puff Daddy, that's a big one. That's starting, that's ramping up. Elizabeth Holmes. Why do I know Elizabeth Holmes? Why should I know that? That name sounds familiar. Oh, that chick. I forgot about her. Oh, yeah. Elizabeth Holmes, for those of you who forgot like I did, she was the American biotechnology entrepreneur who was convicted of fraud in connection with her blood testing that she was doing. Yes, Russell, I had three kids. Yeah, she was the former CEO of Theranos. and she was defrauding people. So it looks like she's out, and which I'm shocked. I thought she was going to do more time than that, but she was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. And but it looks like she is out because she's doing all the Today Show talks. She got out a few months ago. It looks like that's crazy. Kind of reminds me of that one lady who, yeah, she's out. Yeah, she's out. But kind of reminds me of that lady. They did a documentary on Netflix called Bad Vegan, and this is a woman who pioneered the raw food diet. You know, she like made a huge business, had a restaurant and all this other stuff, where she was literally just serving vegetables. It was just raw. Nothing was cooked, but it was just made look pretty. And she made a killing. I mean, she had cookbooks, and which I don't know how you do a cookbook on raw vegetables. Cookbooks, and she had restaurants and all this other stuff. And then she got involved with this guy who was out of shape, not even that attractive, but had convinced her that he was going to bring her dead dog back to life. And it was a very cultish, weird thing. But yeah, when she defrauded all these people and ran off with all the money, and they were living out of a hotel, and she was buying Domino's pizza and crap, you know, stuff that a vegan does not eat. Yeah, it was crazy. But Elizabeth Holmes reminds me of that one. And I can't think of her name, but let me look her up really quick because Google's a thing. And I have the Google. Vegan. Yes, Sarma. She's pretty too. Let's see. Sarma Melngalis. That's it. That's her name. Yeah, she bad vegan, very bad. Yeah, she completely. Yeah, she was a American chef, cookbook author, and businesswoman, and convicted criminal. Yeah. So let's see what we got here. Is this is where muscles have fully developed and closed up my esophagus? Oh wow, that sucks. Okay, message held for review. Oh, got it. London, Kentucky. Yeah, I've been to London, Kentucky too. So let's see. But and now, oh, who remembers the case of the twin boys that were found dead in the mountains of Georgia? That they were saying there was like a self-deletion duel. Now they're saying, oh no, not self-deletion. It's a possible homicide. I saw the crime scene pictures of them. They're face down with that was a execution style murder if I ever saw one in my life. So now they're trying to change course on that. That was crazy. Um, let me see. I save files all the time, and of course, when I get on here to do stuff, I can't remember what I saved. I'm disorganized. I'm gonna admit it. I am. It is what it is. Let's see. Because there's just been some crazy cases. I'm like, I need to save that. I'm gonna send that to myself, and then I send it to myself, and then I can't find it. Do, do, do. But yeah, those twins in Georgia that they found. Yeah, apparently they're changing course on that. They're now saying that is a homicide, which is good, as they should. They absolutely should, because that's what it is, a homicide. Because those kids did not shoot themselves in the back of the head. Oh, you don't like the chat blocking my face? I apologize. I'm not sure what to do about that. So I'm going to say this again, call to action. So if those of you that are just now popping in, my name is Rebecca. This is my channel, Red True Crime. Now, if you are new and you've not subscribed, please subscribe now and help with the algorithm and get the stuff out because that's important because the message needs to be heard. I fully believe that. And I'm very close to hitting a good number. So now here's one of the things I saved. Shannon Sharp accuser reflects on alleged assault in emotional interview. Now I heard this. She's a woman that worked for, I believe, CBS back in the day, and she was married, and he was with somebody, and they were having an illicit affair. And it turned out that when things went bad, he sexually assaulted her, and he basically threatened her with violence and her reputation if she said anything to anybody. So, yeah, Shannon Sharp's going down too. I firmly believe that, he is guilty of what they're saying. What's bad is that every time the girl that's charged, that's suing him right now, that Gabby Zuniga, every time she sends something out there, puts like more text or whatever, and then he responds with more text, he's making himself look even worse, because everything that they're sending back and forth, or putting out there to the media, none of what they're seeing is illegal. None of it is. It's just kinky stuff, I guess, or it could be emotional stuff, but it's not illegal. And with him working for ESPN and ESPN being owned by Disney, that is a conflict right there. Disney is going to get pushed to, distancing themselves from him, and he is going to end up losing his job with ESPN. And then his crappy little podcast is going to be all he's going to live off of. I mean, dude's not a serious journalist. He's goofy, he's silly, and if that's what you like, great. But sometimes be a little serious, dude. That's all I'm saying. Just be a little serious. And that's why you're not going to see anything crazy on my channel, because I'm not a goofy person. I mean, I can be, but I'm not. Because at the end of the day, you have to put the facts out there. You have to be serious. You have to take things at face value. You can't be cracking a joke every 5 minutes. That's why when I talk about things, I talk about serious, serious things and nothing else. So, okay, well, my phone is about to die, so I'm going to have to hop off here. But Shannon Sharp's going to jail. Or actually, no, he's not being charged criminally with anything, so he's going to get sued. He's probably have to pay out a lot of money. Diddy is guilty. He is so guilty. And Shiloh Hendrix needs a major timeout. That's where I stand on that. So, as I say, I am hopping off here because it is getting late, and I do have a job to go do in the morning. But if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here, the Carey sisters. That one sounds familiar too. Hold on, somebody might keep me on here for just a minute longer. Carey sisters, Missouri. Are you speaking of Julie and Robin Carey? That's a yes or no on that one. This happened in St. Louis, Missouri. Good night. Okay. I know nothing of this case, but I'll be more than glad to do a deep dive on it and represent it. Yeah, cannot talk to it, present it on here. This looks like it happened in 1991. So I will copy that and send that over to my files. But come back and I will cover this. I will definitely cover this. So, like I said, if you have not subscribed, please do so. Please like, please share, please comment. Even if it's a negative comment, it's a comment. I'll take it. You know, but like I said, I cover cases that no one really talks about. Now, granted, we're talking about stuff that's going on currently, but then my Thursday's child is the oldest unsolved missing child cases from each of the 50 states. I do Mobster Monday. Now, granted, I did not do one tonight, and I should have. I was going to do one on MS-13, but this other stuff came up, and I'll do MS-13 next week. And do I like upside down crosses? Not especially. Okay. So I will do a deep dive on Julie and Robin Carey because you made the request. I will do that for you. And when I come back, you'll see it in the description if I'm going to cover that case. So as I said before, if you've not subscribed, please do so. Share, like, comment, all that good stuff. And as I always say, do I not believe in Jesus? I do believe in Jesus. I'm a Catholic, of course I do. But as I always say to everybody, be weird, be rude, be safe. Because if you're weird and rude, they will not take you. I guarantee it. And also keep your head on swivel because you never know who's following you. There's that too. But good night, everybody. Thank you again for popping on here and have a wonderful evening and be safe. Okay. And this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm out and I will see you next time.